Welcome back, spenders. Today we're doing another budget with me. So I am budgeting my check for March 15th. If you've watched some of my other videos, you'll know that I bank with Capital One primarily for my checking account. And so oftentimes my paycheck gets deposited a few days early. And so now that the money is available to me and in YNAB, I am ready to start assigning out money for the month. As you look at the screen, you can probably tell that I have a few areas of overspending. And so we're going to take care of those first. Let's take a look at it and then we will discuss the hobby overspending. I'm going to go ahead and take care of that now. I bought something yesterday and I didn't expect it to clear as soon as it did, but my paycheck was already in the bank. So I'm going to cover that by just funding $175, which should fund the rest of my hobby budget for the month. And that category I just spend on basically anything I want. So I consider myself a hobbyist. I have a lot or have had a lot of interesting things going on over the past few years. I knit, I crochet, I use planners, I use fountain pens, I journal, and I'm also picking up some new hobbies along the way. So that category is for anything that I may want as far as my personal spending. The next category is kids. So typically I assign $100 to this every month, but my daughter's friend has a sweet 16 birthday party coming up. And so I didn't really allocate or change the target this month for that category. So I know we're going to go over this $100 limit. The 1778 is for a shrug to go with her dress for the party. I've also got to get her dress looked at by a seamstress. So we're going to do 1778 for the shrug. But then if I can click the right button, gotta hit shift. We're also going to add $20 to get the alterations for that dress because she's short like me. And so we need to get it hemmed up a little bit. And then the last category is reimbursements. So this one we're going to leave overfunded. We actually purchased two dresses for the party, and one of them I will be returning. And so for items that I may be returning or for things that I may be reimbursed for later, whether it's from work, whether it's from a family member, what have you, I set it in this reimbursement categories and I leave it overspent until I am repaid for that. So that covers all of the overspending. Now that we've covered that, that lowers our ready to assign amount to $2,323.58. We started out with $2,500, and so we're going to go and allocate these funds. So we're just going to go down the list. Some of these categories I funded either last time or with interest or unexpected like reimbursements as the month has happened. And so I'm just going to go in and complete the rest of the categories. Before I do that, actually, I'm going to go, I have a holding category for any extra money that I didn't allocate from last paycheck. And so I'm going to take that out of that category. And then I created the Spendy Me category just as a holding place for my hobbies or for food, so that I don't go over what I want to spend for the week. I move some of that money here. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to take that money out. I'm going to go back up top and I'm going to start assigning $70 a week for eating out. There's 5 Mondays this month, so that takes that to $350. Hobbies. I thought I filled this up, but it says $25 more needed, I guess, to meet the target. And then I've also ordered a new e-ink device. So let's add the 25 for now and we'll come back to it. I did try to prepare and project how I should assign money this paycheck through Google Sheets. I have a Google Sheet document and I set it up with all of my categories. Just the name of the category similar to here. And then I put the assigned amount and how much I expect to assign to the categories each month. But as I look through YNAB, some of those amounts differ a little bit. Well, that's why I'm so thankful for YNAB, because the spreadsheet's amount never really matched up for me of what happens in life. So I use spreadsheets for fun because I'm a budget nerd, but I don't stick to them. They're not the end all be all for me because life happens. You have overspending, you have categories that need to be adjusted. And so it's not as easy to account for that stuff in a spreadsheet as it is on YNAB. All right, so life categories. These are groceries for the first 2 weeks of the month. And so we'll just need to fund these next 2 weeks. So I'm just going to select both and hit underfunded, 145 each week. We have money left from these two. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to take this money from here at the end of this, I think. I don't want to, why not? Yeah, I'm going to move the money from here and I'm just going to put it back to ready assign, and I'm going to snooze these categories. And then 3404. Today is the 13th. I don't think I'm going to spend that money because we may dine out tonight, but we're going to take that from the dining out category. And then some of the comments told me I can snooze two categories at once by pressing Shift Z, I believe. And so I'm going to give that a try. And it works. So those are snooze, so I don't have to worry about that. Household durables. This is for anything that's not paper towels. This is for like curtains, bath towels, things of that nature. But I don't have a target set because I want to see how much we spend on average. So I'm going to use this average spending or assign less month for this target. And I'm just going to use this assign less month to fill this. I'm not going to create a target until I have a better sense of how much we typically spend on things that go into this category. Family fun is a new one as well. Typically, I would take anything that we do that is for the household out of my hobbies category or the food and drink category or the kids category, but I decided to create a family fun category. So last weekend we went to a rib fest that's not too far away, the center city, and I used some of the cash I had on hand for the tickets, and then we also purchased like drinks and desserts as well, in addition to using the tickets that we got to try out the ribs from the different stations. And so I thought it would be helpful to just have a category so I can see how much we spend on average. Next up is the kids category again, and I added a little extra for the alterations to the dress, and I may have to add additional money. We'll just see what comes up. Stuff I forgot to budget. I snoozed this category, but I want to unsnooze it. I have pulled a lot of money. Maybe not a lot, maybe a lot is an exaggeration. I pulled some money from here over the course of the last few weeks just to cover overspending in other categories. If you ever click on this little icon beside the assigned amount, it'll show you where you moved money to. So these are recent transactions. I moved some money to gifts, moved some money, moved some money to gifts, added some more money in this category as money came in, and then move some money to kids and food and drink. So I was thinking about not funding this category because I tend to pull from it a lot, but maybe I should fund it because I pull from it a lot to cover overspending in other areas. So I'm just going to hit this underfunded button. So these are my bills for the month because we recently had like a tax refund and an extra paycheck. A lot of these are paid ahead, but I am going to fund my car payment for the month. And then also, my Verizon bill is typically not this high. It normally is around, can't remember, we've got an upcoming transaction here. $175.85, but I believe it's going to be lower than that. So what I did, the reason that it's higher than normal is I went ahead and paid off my husband's phone. We had a discount on that phone, so cost of the phone was basically covered, but we had to still pay for like data and usage every month. The phone was technically free, but when I looked at the plan and I looked at how much we needed to pay left on it, it was 97.20. And when I calculated the service charges for keeping that for the next 4 to 6 months, how much we would spend there, it was like a $50 difference. And so it was just cheaper to pay the remainder of the phone ourselves so we could cut off that line because my husband no longer uses that for a work phone. So we can turn off that line, cancel that line, and then lower our overall phone bill. So it's not a huge cost saving. It was just a little bit of an overall savings, but it helped me to get rid of that line and lower our phone bill month to month. And then I don't have to worry about that device any longer. So I didn't look to see available after upcoming 23 cents. I'm going to add 23 cents here. Okay, we're all good to go there. I did mean to look at, let's see, subscriptions are mostly covered on track and funded. Credit cards are mostly covered. This shortage matches up with the 70/40 from that stress that I need to return. And then we've got some sinking funds that are underfunded. So I'm going to cover car maintenance, medical, see what those look like. Of course, tithe. And then I'm going to go ahead and cover vacay. Home maintenance. I don't know how I overlooked that one. So we have $864.50 left. I'm going to go underfunded to see what's left. This is this extra car payment category that I wanted to fund. I'm going to hold off on this as well as hobbies because for hobbies, I mentioned before that I do sell things on eBay and Mercari. So if I have a hobby and I haven't used the things for a long time or I'm just not into it anymore, I resell those. It's not a lot of money, but it's a good chance for people to buy pre-owned items. And so I've got 8512 here. How much do I need here? 7402. So I'm going to move 7402 from things that I've sold to things that I've bought. Okay, so that takes care of that. Now, I wanted to hold off on these items, really the car payment, because I wanted to see what I should be funding for this pay period. So everything that's listed as the 15th for March is covered, but I also wanted to go into April to see what I needed to cover here. I'm not going to cover miscellaneous spending like my personal spending or groceries. I primarily just want to look at any bills that I need to cover. I've already covered the car payment out of the other account. I'm going to cover the water bill, car insurance, which that should be renewing at the end of this month. I was going to try to make a lump sum payment, but I don't know how much money that would save me. So if it saves me a good bit of money, or if it saves me more money than I can earn in interest in my bank account, then I'll pull from different sinking funds to cover that. But if not, then it's not going to be worth it. So I'm going to cover the water bill, Progressive, and Verizon. I'm going to underfund it for those. And then I'm also going to cover Hulu and New York Times. Underfund it for those. I paid tithe out of this pay period and car payment just on the other screen. I've got 331.39. I'm gonna go back over here and try to save for an extra car payment. And then I'm gonna go back to April once again and see if I can cover any bills for the 30th. I'm going to cover YouTube TV, 77. I'm going to cover our home security system. And then I've got a nice uneven chunk of change left, and I'm going to put it in the holding fund. And so I'll save this money and it'll either cover any overspending that I can't cover from stuff I forgot, or it'll just sit here until my next paycheck and I'll add it with that to cover any additional spending. I do have another new category called YOLO. This is a new side hustle that I'm trying out. So if I don't know if it's going to be profitable, but I'm optimistic. And so I've created this category in hopes that if I am able to earn some spending money from this, then I can put it here. And then I haven't decided what I wanted to do with that money yet. Maybe travel, because the husband loves to be in the streets. Me, not so much, but maybe it'll be a combination of family fun, travel, and then also, you know, buying me all the things that I don't need. That is my budget with me for this month. I just want to do one more check to make sure anything underfunded is intentionally underfunded. And then I wanted to see if anything was overfunded. Kids is overfunded, but that's to cover an upcoming expense. So all good to go there. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. I don't mind answering questions. I'm pretty open. If you're just curious or nosy about anything or want to know what I bought, then I'd be happy to share that in the comments below. Or if you have questions about how to use YNAB, I'll do my best there as well. I know we have a few subscribers that have a lot of YNAB experience, and so they can probably answer some of your questions better than I can. So if you need help, the YNAB community is a great one to be a part of, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks so much for watching.